Okay guys, so I've done 2 time lapses. I think I had this tube and that tube in and that back piece on, and then I was working on getting this last piece in, but it turns out this whole thing needed to be shifted downwards so that this tube would fit. Now I have everything tacked in and it's pretty much ready for final welding. I have to adjust some pieces. So like this, there's a gap right here, which isn't too bad. So I'll just break off that tack and readjust it and it'll be ready to go. So there's about 12 more tubes that need to go in. I need to do sheet metal work right here that I've been procrastinating because this tube is not welded in yet, so I could slide it backwards. I have the piece I cut out from there, but I just need to adjust it so it could fit back on. And then after that, I could weld this, that, and then there are shock tower tubes that'll go from here to here and here to those tubes. So the shocks will be about like right here. And then so that's on both sides. After I get those ones taken care of, I'll have to next drop this gas tank and cut the frame off right here. After I chop the frame rails off, I will have to have a tube that'll go down like this and then to the frame rails to the inside. And then a tube right here will go along here and they will both like meet about right there and then go on the inside of the frame rail. And you're supposed to weld the two together. Today I plan on taking care of the gas tank if I can. I think it's got about 8 gallons of gas in it, so I might not be able to do that, but we'll see. I hope I can get the frame chopped off. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to take care of the sheet metal work today and get all that resituated. It's coming along really fast. I have under 20 hours into this thing, so it came together really quickly and everything is where I want it. Alright, so I got the hanger out. Just some connectors right here and then this wire. You don't even have to take it off, but the gas tank is probably about halfway full. I know I'm not really supposed to do this, but so the tank is full of old gas, and so what I'm gonna do is, I don't have the battery connected to the car. What I did was I got my battery out. This is for my light bar, so it has a 10 amp fuse, and these 2 wires were the ones that went to the fuel pump. So what I did was I wired in a positive and negative from this battery, and I'm just gonna connect this hose and put it into this gas tank. When I connect, this is the ground cable, and I connect this to here, makes the fuel pump go, and that should allow me to transfer the fuel over here. Hot wired it in. Just got it. A little sketchy, possible fire risk, but gotta get it done somehow. Okay, so I got the fuel tank out. I just wired up some wires to drain out 5 gallons, and it was actually pretty light. 1A Auto had a pretty helpful video of how to do it, but basically you just take off these fuel connectors, and then there's another one back there that I think goes to the charcoal canister, and then you take off the 4 bolts for the skid plate, take off the fuel tank straps, which will then lower it down. Make sure you have a floor jack under it that can lower down. So now that that's out of the way, I might try to take off this drive shaft, and then maybe take off the exhaust. And then after that, I'm gonna try to clean up the axle because I don't know how there's that many wires right there. Alright guys, so yesterday I got that chopped off and I just put these tubes in here because it looks cool. But today I might clean up the inside of the frame and get these prepped for welding. And then also yesterday I got this piece out, so I tacked this piece on, same as the other side, so that this can be lined up, and I already put where I think the tube is gonna land. Okay, so when trying to locate where the tube's gonna go on the original material, like this, what I do is I cut out a piece of cardboard and basically like cut it out with scissors directly on the material so it's an exact fit. And then what I'll do after that is I'll cut it in half, and then I'll just so this piece will be flat like that, and I'll just keep cutting it out until it fits. So it took me about 4 tries or so to make it fit like that, but now that that's cut out and I had the bottom one cut out, I just put them both together and then drew a circle where both of them sort of matched. And now that should be a pretty accurate spot to cut out on this. I'll probably cut this in half and then use the cutout wheel to cut this piece out because I don't have a 2-inch hole saw right now, so I'm gonna have to make do with what I have. And yeah, see you when that's done. Alright guys, so about 30 minutes later, I got this side all taken care of. Doesn't look the prettiest right now, but everything is flat and like perfect, or good enough for me at least. There is a little bit of a bigger gap here. It's probably like a 1/16 of an inch, but I think I could take care of that, no problem. Now I'm gonna be moving on to this side, which has been a little bit more difficult. It shouldn't be a problem, but there's like when I was ripping it out, it bent the metal a little bit, but that's not really a problem. I'm just gonna do the same thing as the other side, cut this in half, and then cut a triangle with the angle grinder. And then I have a Dremel with a carbide bit on it, and I just Dremel out the remaining portion of the circle. And that way I can do small bits at a time, and it makes it not too bad. Alright, so I got both the sheet metal pieces tacked in. Fits alright. Kind of messed this side up a little bit, but as you can see, got some welds going on there and there. So yeah, this piece is welded in. I 360 welded these pieces. It was really hard to get back down into there. Everything turned out pretty good, so yeah. I also welded both of these plates on behind the tube, so when I get around to it I could finish that up, but that's not my main focus. What I'm gonna do next is try to fit the tubes that go from here to here and there to there. Since we shortened this tube and that tube about 1 inch, the tubes that are in here aren't a 100% direct fit right now. So I'm gonna have to take a little bit off of them and they'll fit great. That's the reason why it is empty right here. It's because all these fit great because they're not affected by shortening this, but the ones right here are. So I'm gonna take care of those right now. All right, it's coming together. It wasn't too easy getting these middle tubes in, but these were easy, and then these were not easy, but they took a little effort. Now that these are all done, or they're not welded yet, but they're in at least, I'm gonna call it a day. It's getting a little dark outside. Basically need to fully weld everything now, so then I can put these two in, because if I put them in like this without the stuff being welded, a lot of tubes do not have as much weld as they should have on the back on them. Anyways, there's like a bunch of fuel lines and wires and stuff in the way, so I'm gonna have to clear that out of the way, and then I can do the same thing that's right there. I think there's only 6 tubes left, which means it's basically all done.